Have you ever watched someone you love change in ways so quiet, so subtle, that you brushed them off as just a part of growing older? Maybe it was a fleeting moment of clarity, a sudden stillness, or a look into their eyes that felt different, yet you couldn't quite place why. In the final 6 months of life, older adults often show these gentle signs. Signals that medical science tells us are the body's way of preparing for its final chapter. These aren't loud alarms, but whispers. Physical, emotional, even spiritual. They can easily be missed in the busyness of life. They tug at our hearts, stirring worry for what's to come. Yet they also open a door to empathy, to deeper connection, and to hope. In this video, we'll walk through 6 of these signs, not to fill you with fear, but to light a path toward understanding, presence, and peace. By knowing what to look for, you can transform those precious final moments into a time of love, meaning, and quiet strength, honoring the journey of those you hold dear. Stay with us, because this knowledge isn't yet about saying goodbye. It's about staying connected, right here, right now, in the moments that matter most. Sign 1. A loss of appetite and a changing relationship with food. Picture someone you love dearly, perhaps a parent, a grandparent, or a close friend who's always found joy in meals. Maybe they were the one cooking hearty dinners, savoring every bite of their favorite dessert, or sneaking snacks from the pantry with a playful grin. Food was more than nourishment. It was love, tradition, a way to gather and share. But now, you've noticed a shift. Their plate sits untouched. Their favorite dishes go ignored, or they take only a few small bites before pushing the food away. They might say, "I'm just not hungry," or wrinkle their nose at smells that once made them smile. At first, you might think they're being picky or that their taste has changed with age. But medical science tells us this is a significant sign, often seen in the final 6 months of life. As the body prepares for its final chapter, its need for energy shrinks, organs slow down, digestion becomes harder, and the drive to eat fades not because they're stubborn, but because their body no longer craves what it once did. Let me tell you about Edna, an 85-year-old woman whose lemon pound cake was legendary in her family. Every Sunday, her kitchen buzzed with the aroma of her baking, and she'd beam as everyone took seconds. But in her last months, even the smell of that cake turned her stomach. She'd sip water, nibble on ice chips, and gently tell her daughter, "I'm just not hungry anymore." Her family tried everything: soups, soft foods, her favorite treats, but Edna's appetite was gone. A few months later, she passed, her body at rest. This change can stir deep worry. It's heartbreaking to see someone you love lose interest in something so tied to life and care. You might feel helpless, tempted to coax them to eat just one more bite, because feeding them feels like love. But here's where empathy comes in. This isn't about you or your efforts failing. It's a natural part of their journey, a sign their body is shifting focus from sustenance to rest. Science explains that as metabolism slows, hunger often vanishes. Even taste can change, making food feel bland or unappealing. Instead of pushing plates or worrying about calories, shift to comfort. Offer a spoonful of something soft, a sip of warm tea, or just sit with them as they rest. There's hope in this too, because these moments aren't about nourishment, they're about connection, about showing love through presence rather than a full plate. By understanding this sign, you're not just watching them fade, you're learning to meet them where they are, creating memories that linger beyond the meal. These quiet acts, a shared sip, a gentle smile, are powerful. A reminder that love doesn't need a feast to thrive. It blooms in the tenderness of being there, honoring their needs, and holding space for the moments that matter most. Sign 2. A gradual withdrawal from social life. Think of someone dear to you, perhaps a parent or an old friend, who used to be the heart of every gathering. They'd call to check in, share warm laughs, or tell stories over family dinners. But now you notice a change. They stop answering the phone, decline invitations, or sit quietly, no longer their lively selves. This shift isn't sudden, it's slow, gentle, so subtle you might think they're just tired or need a break. But medical science tells us this is a common sign in the final 6 months of life. Their body and mind are turning inward, seeking stillness, as if preparing for a long rest. Crowded conversations or busy rooms become too much, not because they love you less, but because they crave peace. I recall Mr. Thomas, an 80-year-old, who was the soul of every family gathering. He'd share jokes, call his grandchildren, and never miss a chance to connect. But then he started skipping parties, replying less, and told his daughter, "I just want quiet now." His family worried he was sad, but Mr. Thomas smiled, saying he felt at ease. A few months later, he passed peacefully. This withdrawal can tug at your heart, leaving you aching as they drift from the joys they once held dear. But please understand, this isn't distance, it's their way of finding calm. Don't urge them to be their old selves. Stay by their side, hold their hand, or share a silent moment. That's how you show you're still there, still loving them. This sign opens a door to connect in a new, deeper way, even through quiet glances. Cherish these moments, for they are precious gifts, threads of love that hold strong, even when words grow few. Sign 3. Changes in sleep and wake patterns. Think of someone you cherish, maybe a grandparent, an aunt, or a close friend who's always had a steady rhythm to their days. They'd be up with the sun, sipping coffee by the window, or tucked in behind, sleeping soundly through the night. But now, you've noticed their routine is shifting in ways that feel unsettling. They might doze off mid-conversation, their head nodding over a half-read book, or sleep for hours during the day, only to be wide awake at 2 in the morning, staring out into the dark. Sometimes they wake up confused, unsure if it's dawn or dusk, or even where they are. To you, it might seem like they're just extra tired. Maybe aging is catching up. But medical science tells us this is a profound sign, often appearing in the final 6 months of life, especially for those with chronic illnesses. As the body begins to slow, its internal clock, the circadian rhythm that keeps us alert by day and restful by night, starts to falter. Energy ebbs, and the line between sleep and wakefulness blurs, leading to deep naps, restless nights, or moments of disorientation. Let me share a story about Charles, an 81-year-old man who loved his morning walks and evening chats with neighbors. Over time, his family noticed he was different. He'd fall asleep at the kitchen table after breakfast, his coffee untouched, or drift off while friends visited. At night, he'd be up, pacing, asking if it was time for lunch. His family thought it was just old age, but Charles's sleep grew heavier, his waking moments more scattered. 6 months later, he passed quietly at home. His shifting sleep one of the earliest clues. This change can spark worry. It's hard to see someone you love slip into a world where time feels unsteady. You might wonder if they're okay, if something's wrong. But there's a chance here for empathy, to understand that this isn't laziness or confusion taking over. It's their body signaling a deeper shift, preparing for a gentle transition. Science notes that these changes can even bring vivid dreams, or moments where they speak to loved ones who've passed, as if they're already crossing a bridge. These experiences aren't always frightening. Sometimes they bring a strange calm, a peace you can feel in the room. Instead of trying to fix their sleep or pull them back to a rigid schedule, meet them in this new rhythm. Sit with them as they doze, Hold their hand when they stir, or listen if they share a dream. There's hope in these moments, because they offer a chance to connect in a way that's soft and real, beyond the need for words. By recognizing this sign, you're not just witnessing their journey, you're walking beside them, creating memories that glow with love and presence. These quiet hours, filled with gentle touches or shared silence, are a gift. A reminder that even as their body slows, your bond remains strong, anchoring you both in the moments that matter most. Sign 4. A sudden return of energy or clarity. Picture this: someone you love, maybe a grandparent or a dear friend, has been feeling tired for weeks, maybe even months. Their eyes seem heavy. Their words come slowly, and they've been quieter than usual. Then, out of nowhere, they light up. They're chatting, laughing, maybe even asking for their favorite meal or telling most stories like they used to. It feels like a miracle, doesn't it? Your heart lifts, and for a moment, you think they're getting better. But here's the truth, and it's both beautiful and bittersweet. This burst of energy, often called a rally by doctors, is one of the body's final gifts. And it's something science has seen time and again in the last 6 months of life. It happens because the body, in its mysterious wisdom, releases stored energy or shifts its chemistry, giving the person a brief window where pain fades. Their mind sharpens, and they feel like themselves again. Let me tell you about Helen, an 82-year-old woman who loved her family deeply. For weeks, she'd been sleeping most of the day, barely eating, her voice a whisper. Then one afternoon, she sat up, asked for her famous lasagna, and joked with her grandson about his messy hair. Her daughter was overjoyed, calling everyone to say, "Mom's back." But 2 days later, Helen's energy slipped away, and her decline continued. It's easy to feel worried when the moment fades, to wonder what it means. Yet there's hope here, too. This rally isn't a cruel trick. It's a chance to connect, to share love, to say the things that matter most. Science tells us this moment is temporary, but it's also real, a precious opportunity to be present. Don't try to fix it or push for more. Instead, sit with them. Listen to their stories. Hold their hand. And let this time be a bridge to closeness. By recognizing this sign, you're not just preparing for what's ahead. You're embracing the chance to make memories that will carry you forward with love and peace. This is a moment to cherish. A reminder that even in life's final chapter, there's room for joy and connection. Sign 5. Coolness, or color changes in the extremities. Imagine someone you hold close to your heart, a parent, a grandparent, or a dear friend who's always been a source of warmth, both in their smile and in their touch. You'd hold their hand during a walk, feel the familiar heat of their palm, or laugh as they pulled you in for a hug. But now, you've noticed something different. Their hands or feet feel unusually cold, even on a mild day. You might see their fingers or toes take on a pale or bluish tint, or notice them wrapping up in blankets, clutching socks, or avoiding the outdoors. At first, you might think it's just poor circulation, a chilly room, or the quirks of aging. But medical science reveals this is a meaningful sign, often appearing in the final 6 months of life. As the body begins to conserve its energy, it redirects blood flow from the limbs to vital organs, like the heart and brain. This shift leaves the hands, feet, and legs cooler, sometimes with a mottled or dusky hue, especially in the ankles or toes. Let me share the story of Harold, a 78-year-old man who loved his morning ritual of sitting on the porch, hands wrapped around a steaming mug of tea. His family cherished those moments, watching him soak in the sunrise. But over time, Harold stopped joining them outside. His daughter noticed his hands were icy, even under layers of blankets, and his feet looked pale, almost gray. When she asked, he said, "My hands get cold too quickly now." She thought it was the weather, but hospice later explained it was his body's way of slowing down. A few months later, Harold passed peacefully. This change can spark worry. It's unsettling to feel the chill in someone's hands, to see their skin lose its familiar glow. You might instinctively rub their fingers, hoping to warm them, because touch has always been how you show care. But here's where empathy steps in. This coolness isn't something to fix with extra heaters or new socks. It's a natural part of their body's quiet retreat, a sign it's focusing on what matters. Science tells us this process is rarely painful for them. They might feel sleepy or calm, unaware of the change you're noticing. Instead of fighting it, lean into comfort. Wrap them in a soft blanket. Slip on cozy socks, or simply hold their hand, letting your warmth be a reminder of your love. There's hope in this, too, because these moments of care create a connection that transcends the cold. By recognizing this sign, you're not just seeing their body change, you're choosing to be present, to offer tenderness in a way that honors their journey. These small gestures, a gentle touch, a shared blanket, carry immense power, proof that love remains warm and steady, even as their body grows still. They're a chance to build memories that will comfort you long after, a reminder that your presence is the greatest gift in the moments that matter most. Sign 6. A sudden emotional peace or spiritual clarity. Picture someone you love deeply, maybe a parent, a grandparent, or a cherished friend who's carried the weight of life's worries for years. They might have fretted over small details, held on to old grudges, or wrestled with fears about the future. But then, in a quiet moment, you notice something extraordinary. Their face softens, their voice grows gentle, and a calm seems to settle over them, like a storm finally passing. They might share a memory with a smile, reach out to someone they haven't spoken to in years, or say something profound, like, "I'm ready now," or "Everything's going to be okay." Sometimes, they speak of loved ones who've passed as if they're close by, or imagine seeing light, feeling watched over, without a trace of fear. At first, you might wonder if they're just in a good mood, or if it's a fleeting change. But medical science, along with countless stories from hospice workers, tells us this is a powerful sign, often seen in the final 6 months of life, known as nearing death awareness. It's a moment when the heart and mind find a clarity that transcends explanation, not tied to religion or belief, but to a deep inner settling. Let me tell you about Lorraine, an 84-year-old woman who'd lived with anxiety her whole life. She was always planning, always needing things just right, her mind buzzing with what-ifs. But one afternoon, after a nap, she looked at her daughter and said, "It's okay to let things be. Everything's fine now." That evening, she asked to hear her favorite music, closed her eyes, and smiled as the notes filled the room. Her daughter felt a lump in her throat, sensing something sacred in that moment. Lorraine passed a few weeks later, but her peace left a lasting warmth. This shift can stir worry. It's hard to hear someone speak as if they're preparing to leave, to see them so calm when you're not ready to let go. But there's empathy to be found here, too. This isn't a sign of giving up. It's their heart, solution, their spirit embracing what's to come. Science notes that these experiences are common across cultures, often bringing comfort to the person, even if they're fleeting. Instead of questioning it or pushing for more time, lean into these moments. Listen to their words, sit with their stillness, or join them in whatever brings them joy, like a song or a shared memory. There's hope in this, because these moments are like open windows, offering a chance to connect in a way that's honest and profound. By recognizing this sign, You're not just witnessing their peace, you're sharing in it, creating memories that shine with love and meaning. These instances of clarity, whether they last an hour or a day, are a gift, a reminder that even in life's final chapter, there's room for grace, for healing, and for love that holds you both close, no matter what lies ahead. As we wrap up this heartfelt journey through the 6 quiet signs an older adult may be nearing their final months, let's pause to hold these moments close. These signs a fleeting spark of energy, a soft retreat from the world, shifting sleep, a fading appetite, cooler hands, or a gentle wave of peace. They're more than medical clues. They're the body's tender whispers of transition, grounded in science, yet rich with human connection. Perhaps you've seen these changes in someone dear, like a grandparent whose laughter briefly bloomed again, or a friend who now finds comfort in stillness. Maybe you're even noticing them in yourself, wondering what they mean. It's okay to feel a twinge of worry, a quiet ache, knowing these signs signal an ending. But let me share a story to light your path. My friend's mother, Anna, was 87 when she began sleeping longer, eating less, her hands growing cold. Her family felt lost at first, but understanding these signs changed everything. They sat by her side, played her favorite melodies, and listened as she shared memories with a calm they'd never seen. When Anna passed, their grief was softened by gratitude for those shared moments. These signs call for empathy, to see not just loss, but a chance to be truly present, to honor someone's journey with love. Science tells us these changes are natural, part of the body's gentle preparation, yet they also spark hope. Hope that you can fill these months with meaning, through a warm touch, a shared glance, or a silent moment that says, "I'm with you. You're not alone in this." Every listener here is part of a compassionate circle, seeking to walk this path with grace. By embracing these signs, you're not just preparing for goodbye, you're choosing to stay connected, turning fear into love that lasts. So, take a step today. Call someone you cherish. Sit with them. Share a memory. Let these signs guide you to treasure the time you have, weaving memories that will warm your heart forever. And if this touched you, please share this video with someone who needs it. Give it a like to spread this message, and subscribe with the bell on so you don't miss more stories that inspire love and connection. Your support helps us keep sharing these moments that matter. Thank you for being here, for caring so deeply, and for making every second count.